Hi everyone, it's Tracy here from Art Fibre Stitch, and this is part 3 of a little project we've been working on. This is where we left it last time. Got my leaves ready to stick outside of the frame or the mount, the picture mount, the mat board. And I really liked it. We brought that wool in, I liked that. If I wanted to bring some more of this green in whilst I've still got it on my needle, I could do a bit up here. I could pick out one of those leaves so that it really stood out. Alright, so what we've got here is that I don't see any of this light juicy green. I've just got this dark one here. I'm just going to add, just doing a bit of fly stitch here, just to add a bit more of that green. So I'm joining these things up a bit, these different colours. Yep, that's better. Maybe on these two leaves with this last tiny bit I can just do, because they do look like little tiny leaves, whereas the other things look like flowers. Maybe just a little line in the center will make that look more like a leaf. You know, when you go back on yourself and fill in the gap, that's a back stitch. Just like that. But they are simple. Right. Turn it over. A couple of stitches on top of each other to finish it off, knot it off. Trim your thread. We're ready. So I will add touches of things when I feel like it needs it. But what we were looking at in the last episode was the possibility of using some flowers. Could we make it more look like that? But I like to see how I've got one each side. I'm trying to make it less of a line. But whatever I do, something like that would be good, I think. All right. So, but we have to attach them, you see. How? Well, I'm going to grab a thread. I think, should I bring that in? Do we want a dark thread? Doesn't hurt. Okay. Now, if I don't keep looking at this, I'm going to miss obvious things like those bits are out. Which bits are going to be showing? Let's just try and add these flowers in. I think they're okay where they are. Just wanted to make sure. Put the frame around it and see. It's a good idea to, you know, even if you have a little cardboard cutout or two L shapes or some books or something where you can show yourself what it looks like without all the other distractions. 1, 2. We've got something. Start with this one, see how we can do it. What do I want to cover? What do I want to show? What would happen if I cut one in half? If we added it in here, would they look like smaller flowers? You know, coming through? Something like that. So that's not just a blob, but it's sort of worked towards it. We've already got this stem out here. I could use that. Here, 2 stitches. I could just have it. I'll put 1 stitch in. Using this darker colour of this pink, you know, it allows it to be like shading. So, and we don't need to keep it all out like that. I could tuck that bit in. You know, I could just do something like that. I like that it's sticking out. It's in the 3rd dimension. I got that happening, no problem. I'm just doing little lines, little tiny stitches up like that. out from the center, as a flower would be. You're looking at the little veins. And that one, I'll just do a little tiny half a stitch there. Well, where do we want to put that one? Down here a bit? Yeah, I might change my mind. Ah, look at that. I like that. I do. I'm going to add you there. Okay, so I'm going to come up here. And I'm going to use those gaps in between the petals. And I'm going to go down into the center of this silk flower. Silk flowers are a great cheats way to make flowers on a design. I'll put that one in there. It's a good feeling when you go back to an old project to make it work. That's probably all I'll do to this, is I'll just do those stitches out between the petals to hold it down. I don't mind if they want to curl up, that would be pretty too. And that. Oh, where you go, in there. There. Now they're not just hanging there, see, I like that better. I still have this half a one. What'll I do with it? I could. Oh, come on, why not? See how this time I'm sort of folding it over a little bit because I want that to be more three-dimensional, and I'm also wanting that bit to poke up over top. Ooh, look. That. And see, it's okay to change your mind. Let's see if I've got another pink one. Here's one. You can find these in arrangements, plastic or silk flowers. And you see this bit on the back? I'm just going to take that off. It's holding this peg of the center in, but that would be too bulky, you see. I'm just going to use the bit I want, that bit. And I'm just going to see how I might like it. So can you see how that's working? Just doing that little bit in the center means these bits can just be free. And that looks far more realistic to me. And just do the same thing, like spokes on a wheel. It's going to hold that all together. I don't mind getting a little tuck in there because I see how I'm going in here, but I'm not going there. I'm bringing it in a little bit, and that'll make it bunch up in a pleasing way, I hope. Yep, look at that, pretty. All right, so that's them. And what I want to do now is finish that off. So I'm just going to go to the back, 2 stitches on top of each other like this. All right, snip, ready for the next thing. What do we got? Well, you know, it's pretty good. But I don't know, I have this, I have that. What I would like is to, I think what I want is to do a little bit of stitching on this leaf here. A bit of green, the same green that it is, kind of. Just see if that helps. I've got stranded cotton here. I'm going to use 3 strands, I think. Yep, take that apart. Got my 2 lots of 3, and I'm just going to pull it to the end, separating them. This line that's already there. And see, I've already done it in a thicker something, like a this one was a chain stitch. This one was a heavier thread. Sometimes I've used running stitch. I'm just wanting to do this just to see around the edge that I can already see from my sun printed design. Now I got to remember too that a lot of it's going to be lost because we have this much of it hanging off the frame, don't we? So I don't have to do the whole thing. That was out. like that, and that got most of those flowers in, like that. That's out. Stop it. Okay, so about there, I can have that in. You know, I think that's 2 leaves. I'm going to pick them both out just with that running stitch around it. It's only about that much it's going to show. The rest of it will be off under the matting board, so I don't want to go too extreme, but I think it'll help. I'm also going to do this central vein. Well, I always like to think about where I'm going next so that I can not have to travel too far between areas. I don't want to start something way over here with my green, because then I would end off and start again, because that's not good. But a little travel, yeah, that's fine. All right, I'm just going to do this. Sometimes that tiny thing can really make it. It suddenly looks fine, you know. You can ignore other things that were upsetting you, because suddenly that's got your attention. There. Now I'm going to go up here. And there. And maybe just a few veins in the leaf too. If it becomes too tight, you know, before you go any further, fix it. Okay, so why are you tight? I'm just going to take that and work it backwards, whichever way I came from. I've got to remember which way I came from. That, are they? Aha. I'm just going to loosen it a bit there, everywhere. And so that's it. I just want to show you a few tips and tricks that we might try when we've lost enthusiasm for one of our older projects. Pull it out, have another look, refresh it, and try some other little ideas on it. So I quite like this. I think it's been a great experiment, and I hope you do too. Don't forget to press like and subscribe if you haven't already, and there is a way to donate through the link below if you choose to. Thanks again for watching. We'll try something else next time. And finish here with a few extra close-up pictures to show you what we've been doing.